Aren't you afraid your child is going to grow up to be abusive or narcissistic if you don't correct them or teach them in the moment when they're exhibiting challenging behavior, like controlling you, demanding you bring them food or the remote when it's sitting right next to them, swearing at you in moments of activation, telling you things that aren't exactly true? This is the question that parents ask most frequently, especially if they're newer to their journey with PDA. And yes, this is a valid fear if we're looking through the logic of how most of the world understands humans and behavior. So the assumptions underlying this fear are: we need to control humans and teach them to be good, A, and B, the behavior we're seeing is goal-oriented, motivated, attention-seeking, and under the conscious control of the child or teen. The first thing we can do to combat our fear as parents is to understand our children through a more accurate logic, okay? So if we understand that they are inherently good, but they can't access that goodness because they're from their survival brain reacting to the perception that they're going to die, even if it doesn't make sense to us, then we can start to understand that in the moments that we see this behavior that looks like it would end up being narcissistic down the line is actually just an indicator of the fact that they're perceiving threat. So what we can do as parents is diffuse and de-escalate and accommodate the nervous system in order to help them get into their frontal lobe more frequently, where they can access learning, where they can access rational thought, understand cause and effect, and access empathy. So through that lens, it makes it much less likely that a child will grow up to be narcissistic or abusive if we are accommodating them in order to get them out of their survival brain consistently to create some new neural pathways out of huge meltdowns, escalations, and what we can see as violent behavior, right? So as you hear me talking about this, you might say, yeah, Casey, that makes sense cognitively, like I understand the root cause of PDA, but it can take years to combat the fear and the judgment of others that comes up as you are trying to combat your ingrained assumptions about who your child is and what we need to do as parents to be good parents. But I invite you to consider what if accommodating and not reacting and not correcting in the moment of a nervous system response actually makes it less likely that they will be narcissistic and abusive as adults.